My name is Maria Gomez. I'm 62 years old and I live in my son's apartment like a quiet shadow. There's a small blue door in that apartment. Everyone has a key except me. I never knew that one door could show me how forgotten a mother can be. I used to live alone in a tiny house near a school. I worked for many years as a cook in the school kitchen. Every morning I woke up before the sun. I boiled soup, baked bread, and fried eggs for hundreds of children. My hands were always busy and my back always hurt, but I felt proud. When I saw the children eat, I felt warm inside. When my son Lucas was a boy, he often came to the kitchen after class. I gave him extra soup and a big piece of bread. We used to laugh over simple soup and bread like it was a big dinner in a big house. I raised Lucas alone. His father left when he was small. I worked, saved every coin, and prayed for his future. I thought if he studies hard, he will have an easier life than mine. Lucas was clever. He finished university and found a good job in the city. On the night of his graduation, he hugged me and said, "Mama, when I am successful, you will never be alone again. I promise I will take care of you." I believed every word of that promise. I felt tired, but I knew my sacrifice had a meaning. Years passed. My body became weaker. The school hired younger cooks. Finally, I retired. The house felt like a quiet room with only the clock ticking. Sometimes I felt alone, but I told myself it is fine. One day Lucas will call. One day he really did. He said, "Mama, come live with us in the city. Our small apartment is not perfect now, but soon we will move to a better place. You should not live alone anymore." I thought my life would finally change. When I arrived, Emma opened the door. She is Lucas's wife. She smiled, kissed my cheek, and took my bag. "Welcome, Mama," she said. "This way." She showed me around the apartment. It was clean but small, with white walls and bright lights. Then she pointed to a little room with a blue door. "This blue room will be just for you," she said. "When we move to a new apartment, your room will be even bigger." I put my hand on the cold metal of the handle and smiled. In my mind, I was already placing my old photos on the wall. I thought, at last, I have a place in my son's home. I imagined a bed near the window, a small table, maybe a plant. But then Emma closed the blue door again. "We still need to fix some things inside," she said quickly. "For now, you can sleep in the living room. Is that okay?" I felt a little sting in my chest, but I nodded. "Of course," I said. "I don't want to be any trouble." I told myself it was only for a short time, and I pushed the feeling away. Life in the apartment soon became a routine. Every morning, I made breakfast, packed snacks for their little boy, and cleaned the kitchen. I washed clothes, folded them, and put them in neat piles. I wanted to show I could take care of the family, but often while I scrubbed dishes, I heard Emma's voice from the hallway. "Mama, you're using too much electricity. Please do not leave the light on." Another day. "Mama, the kitchen is messy again. You should be more careful." Each time I felt smaller. I looked at her face and said softly, "I am sorry. I will do better." Lucas usually sat on the sofa looking at his phone. Sometimes he smiled at me, but he did not say much. I thought, why does he stay quiet? Does he forget my heart? Does he forget how I worked for him? At night, when everyone slept, I lay on the narrow sofa and looked at the blue door in the dark. It felt like an eye that never opened for me. That night, I could not sleep. I felt like a guest in the life I built. One evening, a man in a suit came to the apartment. He carried a black folder. Emma made coffee and closed the living room door, but she forgot that the kitchen wall was thin. As I washed the cups, I heard pieces of their talk. "If we buy now, the bank gives a special rate," the man said. "But we need a stronger guarantee," Emma answered. We can use my mother-in-law's retirement account. She doesn't really need it. She lives with us. My hand stopped in the water. I felt the plate slide from my fingers back into the sink. I knew they were talking about my savings, the money I had kept for medicine and emergencies. Lucas spoke then, his voice low. Are you sure, Emma? It is my mother's money, Emma replied. It is only paper, Lucas. Your mother will still live with us. We will take care of her. This is our chance for a better apartment, a new home. Later that night, Emma came to me with a sweet smile and some documents. Memo, the bank needs your signature. She said it will help us buy a nicer place for everyone. You will have a real room then, not just the sofa. I looked at the papers. The letters swam before my eyes. I thought if I say no, they will think I am selfish. If I say yes, what happens to my future? I felt trapped. In the end, my hand shook, but I signed. Some days after that, a property agent visited. He walked through the apartment taking photos. This room will be good for a student, he said, pointing at the blue door. You can get a good price for it. My heart jumped. But that is my room, isn't it? I asked in a quiet voice. Emma looked at me, then looked away. We need the money, Mama, she said. You can sleep on the sofa for now. When we move to the bigger place, things will be different. I felt my face become hot, but my hands felt cold. I knew then that the blue door was not for me. It was for some stranger who would pay rent. That night, I lay on the sofa again and listened to the agent's footsteps in my head. I cried and cried, but I made no sound. Still, I tried to understand Emma. One day, she sat at the kitchen table talking about her childhood. We lived in a tiny, dirty place, she said. Kids at school laughed at me because of my clothes in our old building. I promised myself I would never be poor again. I looked at her face and saw something hard and scared inside her eyes. I thought, she is not only cruel, she is afraid. I felt a little pity, but it did not erase my pain. Then one Tuesday afternoon, everything changed. I was making tea when Emma's phone rang. She walked into the living room and answered. The door stayed half open. Her voice dropped, but I could still hear. Yes, she said. Once the papers are signed, the home will keep her. It's a good nursing home. Cheap, but safe. We can visit once a year just to look good for the neighbors. My hands began to shake around the cup of tea. The spoon hit the side of the cup again and again. Little did they know that I was standing behind the half-open kitchen door. There was a pause. Then Emma laughed softly. She trusts us, she said. She thinks the new apartment is for her, but she cannot live alone anymore. This is the best way. I felt my legs weaken. The walls around me seemed to move. In that moment, I understood the truth about the blue door and about my place in their life. I was not a mother in their eyes. I was a problem to move, a signature on a page, a body to hide in a quiet room far away. That night, I sat at the kitchen table long after everyone went to bed. The light above me buzzed softly. The apartment was silent, but inside my chest there was a storm. If only I had spoken earlier, maybe they would still see me as their mother, not as a bank card. I thought about the small apartment, the big house. Emma dreamed of the nursing home she mentioned. I felt tears on my cheeks. I whispered to myself, Maria, if you stay silent now, you will disappear. The next morning, the air felt heavy. Emma placed a new set of papers on the table. Mama, these are from the nursing home, she said. Just in case, they will take good care of you. Look, they even have a garden. She pushed a brochure toward me full of smiling old people. I looked at her and said quietly, I raised a son, not a customer. I will not sign this. My voice surprised me. It did not shake. Emma's smile froze. Lucas looked up from his phone, his face pale. What are you talking about, Mama? He asked. I heard you yesterday, I said. You want to send me away and visit once a year. You already gave my blue room to a stranger. You already took my savings. I am not furniture, Lucas. I am your mother. Emma's cheeks turned red. After all we did for you, she began. You live here for free. You use our electricity, our food. My food? I interrupted, my voice sharper than I expected. For years I cooked for you with these hands. I cleaned your clothes. I prayed for you every night. I did not break my promise to you, Lucas, but you broke your promise to me. Their little boy stood in the doorway, watching with wide eyes. I felt my heart break when I saw his scared face. I lowered my voice. I will not stay where I am not wanted, I said. I will not live in a home that forgets my heart. I went to the sofa and picked up my old bag. I folded my few clothes, my Bible, and the small photo of Lucas as a child. My hands were steady now. Tears ran down my face, but my steps were sure. I took one last look at the blue door. The paint looked brighter in the morning light, but to me, it was only a closed mouth that never spoke my name. Lucas followed me to the hallway. Mama, please don't go like this, he said. We can talk. We will talk, I answered. But not here. Not while you plan my life without me. I opened the main door. I need a place where my yes means yes and my no means no. I felt the cold air on my face as I stepped into the stairwell. For the first time in many years, I felt like I could breathe. I did not know where to go at first. My legs took me back to my old neighborhood. There, in the small street near the school, lived Mrs. Reyes, a retired teacher. She used to work at the same school where I cooked. She once told me, "Your soup saves my mornings." When she opened her door and saw my bag, her eyes softened. "Maria, what happened?" she asked. My new home was not a home, I said. My voice broke a little. Without more questions, she pulled me inside. You can stay here for a while, she said. I have a small room. The rent is low. Maybe you can help me with cooking? My knees are not so good now. The room she gave me was tiny with one bed, a wooden chair, and a window. But it had a simple brown door, and she put a key in my hand. This is yours, she said. Your room, your door. That's when I realized that a small room with respect is better than a big apartment without love. The walls were close, but I did not feel trapped. I felt safe. Every evening I cooked for us. We ate together and talked about our days. Sometimes I prayed for Lucas and his family. I did not pray for a big house for them. I prayed that their hearts would become softer. I hoped my son would remember who I was. Weeks passed. One day, there was a knock on the brown door. When I opened it, Lucas stood there with a bouquet of cheap supermarket flowers. His shoulders were low. He looked at the floor first, then looked at my face. Mama, he said, I'm sorry. He told me that the bank plan failed. The new apartment did not happen. Emma was angry, but she finally saw how far they had gone. We forgot your heart, he said. We treated you like a problem. I don't expect you to come back, but can I still visit you? I felt many things at once. Pain, love, and a small new strength. You can visit, I said. You are my son. I will always pray for you, but I will not move back. This is my new life. I have my own key now. Now I live in Mrs. Reyes' house. I have a small job again. I cook for a few neighbors who cannot cook for themselves. They pay me a little and they call me Donna Maria with respect. Sometimes I still feel alone, but it is a different kind of alone. It is quiet, not cruel. Now I have my own key, my own door, and a heart that finally remembers itself. Many parents stay silent because they love their children, but silence can teach others that our feelings do not matter. We must speak up with kindness and protect our own hearts too. If this story touches you, maybe it is time to set one small boundary in your own life. What would you do if you were Maria? Tell me in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.